Nvidia is doing something mind-blowing, building AI-powered nuclear reactors that fit in a parking spot. Imagine this, reactors that not only power our world, but also fuel more AI innovation. They're investing in TerraPower, using their own AI to optimize these reactors. It's a recursive genius. This isn't just cool tech, it's the future of energy, compact and efficient. Stick around to see how this could change everything we know about power.
Moving on to thing number 4. So we're talking Amazon, Microsoft, access to nuclear power, lots of fun stuff, big players here. Now we've got Nvidia investing as well. They're working to build SMRs, small modular reactors is the abbreviation there. Obviously, this leading to more AI data centers, right? The race to push AI, the race to create profitable AI investments. Gary, thing number 4, Nvidia invests in TerraPower as AI pushes nuclear into the spotlight, further confirming DKI thesis that you've had for, a couple years now, I think, Gary? But,
it's more than that, yeah. Yeah, we've owned uranium for years now. But in the meantime, Rob, this is something we've been talking about all year. So earlier this year, Microsoft contracted to buy nuclear power for their AI data centers. Great. That fed right into our uranium thesis. Prior to that, Amazon contracted with Talon Energy for clean nuclear power, reliable power. And that helped us, with our Talon Energy position and our uranium position. We made money multiple ways on that. Well, Nvidia came out last week and said, hold my beer. Their venture capital arm called N Ventures joined a $650 million funding round for TerraPower, which is a nuclear startup, bringing its total private capital above $1.4 billion alongside a $2 billion Department of Energy grant. TerraPower is developing SMRs, that stands for small modular reactors. Each one of those, and to give you a sense of how small these are, you could fit one in a shipping container, right? So imagine having a building where you got a shipping container out back and it can power, like you can stick it in the parking lot, right? Give up a couple of your parking spots, you have enough energy to power a city. These SMRs have a 345 megawatt sodium cooled fast reactor with integrated molten salt energy storage capable of boosting peak output to 500 megawatts. Rob, I always give you hard things to say. Try to imagine me saying this. But in the meantime, the point here is you have about 350 megawatts of consistent power. They can peak it to 500 megawatts. Construction has already begun on non-nuclear infrastructure, and making this a wonderful recursive investment. NVIDIA's AI infrastructure demands energy that's consistently available. Political and social demand mean it's got to be carbon free. That means nuclear. And the recursive part of this is TerraPower is embedding NVIDIA's AI tools for everything from predictive maintenance to reactor design optimization. Basically, we're using NVIDIA AI to build the power source for NVIDIA's AI. I know it sounds crazy, but the whole thing actually works. We're thrilled to see it.
Wow. Yeah. Very impressive there, Gary. So obviously we have new energy demand. It's AI related, right? With the rise of AI, the computing power, the use of the technology, right? Which continues to expand faster and faster and faster. I guess my question is, we're honed in on nuclear. Why does that power, why does the energy have to come from nuclear versus some of these other alternatives?
So look, Rob, if you're running an AI data center or really any data center, you need like 5 nines reliability, right? That power source better be working 99.999% of the time. Anything less than that, right, you're having all of your servers go down. So your options in a situation like that are nuclear power, or listen, if you're right by a dam, I guess hydro power would work. But in the US, you'd really need like natural gas or coal. And the problem is, for political and environmental reasons, Building more coal or natural gas plants is just not politically feasible. It's also not feasible for companies like Nvidia or Microsoft or Amazon. They've made commitments to have carbon-free data centers. Whether that's right or wrong doesn't really matter. Whether you agree or disagree with global warming or global weirding or climate change, it doesn't really matter. From a political point of view, this is what is available. And so it's going to have to be, if you want reliable carbon-free energy, your option is really going to be nuclear. That's what it has to be.
And then, Gary, these SMRs, touching on those a little bit more as well. So again, SMRs, small modular reactors, other than size, or I mean, is that the biggest benefit of these reactors? Can you talk a little bit more about those?
So these reactors have a whole bunch of incredible benefits. One is size. So like I was saying before, imagine having a data center that requires enough energy to power a city, and you could do that by just giving up a couple of spots in your parking lot. That itself is absolutely incredible. The power is relatively inexpensive because these are small modular reactors. Once they get the design set, they can be rapidly produced and done relatively inexpensively. So, what we're used to in the US are these gigantic, like if you've ever watched The Simpsons, right? Homer Simpson works at the nuclear plant with a gigantic, cooling tower. And that's what we're used to seeing. And those plants will take 10 to 20 years to build. They take years and years to get regulatory approval, which in many cases is impossible. We haven't had a new plant greenlit in the United States in decades. And those plants tend to come in tens of billions of dollars over budget, which is not great. With the SMRs, once you get that design, you can produce them quickly, efficiently. They don't have to be built on site. You could just build them in a central location and just drop them off somewhere. And the key thing is, what scares people about nuclear energy is, oh no, what if it's another Chernobyl or Fukushima or 3 Mile Island? And, the fact that nobody dies in those situations, that we haven't had a death related to nuclear power happen in decades, everybody forgets that. And I understand that fear. But in the case of these SMRs, again, small modular reactors, they don't melt down. You don't have those kinds of meltdowns. Basically, if your core, they're not water cooled. And so if your core melts down, the whole thing just basically stops working. And that's really the end of it. But in general, this is really safe power. But the key thing is you can't have a meltdown. There's not going to be, that gigantic accidental explosion with, nuclear waste all over the place. These are really safe. And over the next decade or two, people are going to get used to and accustomed to seeing these things literally, on site in places or close to towns. I understand why people are afraid of it, but these are really safe. They don't blow up. They don't melt down. You just don't have that disbursement of radioactive material that, everybody sees in the movies. So the bad news for the monster files, the people who like monsters, these will not cause another Godzilla, I'm sorry to report.
Great stuff there, Gary. Thanks for breaking down that entire segment of this week's version of the 5 things, the Powered by Nuclear power issue. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up on this video or thumbs down. Just let us know what you might disagree with or questions you may have. You can also head over to our website, deepknowledgeinvesting.com. Consider a free subscription. That'll get you access to all of our email delivery, our newsletter notifications about the 5 things, as well as premium content. Some of that may be gated. That's where a premium subscription comes into play. That'll get you access to all current recommendations that Gary has as a part of the DKI portfolio. Also, we have an Ask Gary feature on the website. You can submit questions into the show. Might even see one of your questions show up here on this week's version of the 5 things.